Hey all, Pixel here, Improbable Garage, and after a long and rough winter, it's time to clean the van up and get her shining again. So for some reason this winter was really hard on the van. Got a lot of rust popping on the bumper and on the front grille. Body just looks grimy. The front wheels look real bad, and my brand new lug nuts and center caps rusted to heck. More grime and dirt. The fender failures that got broken got taken off, but I got to clean up the body where they are. The whole interior is just kind of grimy. The glass is dirty. There's a bunch of stuff just kind of in here. So basically I just want to reset. I want to get the van looking as good as it can, basically with the day's work and no real expense. So it's going to get a full scrubbing outside and inside. I'm going to vacuum the carpets. I'm going to clean the wheels. I'm going to pull them off, see what I can do to de-rust the lug nuts. I'm probably going to end up painting those center caps until I can get either aluminum or stainless steel replacements. This is going to get rust work to try and get rid of this rust and maybe seal it up so it doesn't just come right back. I'm not sure the exact details of that. Yeah, generally I want to just make the van look good again, because right now it's looking a little sad. And that's already way better. Like you saw, foam cannon the whole thing. It was being a little inconsistent, which is why you saw me go over it a couple times with the foam cannon. Gave everything a good scrubbing. Foam cannon it again because it had dried some of the soap onto it. I wanted to really make sure it all came off, and then power washed it off. I don't know if you noticed, but I washed the whole van and then came back and did the front wheels. That's because they're super covered in brake dust. It's still really bad. That's the whole thing we're going to be working on. But I didn't want to get all that contamination onto the sponge and into the bucket and then wipe it all over the van. So that's why I did that last. But yeah, it's always little bits of soap no matter how much I wash it. Rinse it. There's so many little crevices. This thing always ends up with soap still on it. But like I said, it already looks way better, just not being grimy. And the chrome is back to shiny even if it is rusty. So I think while this dries out here for a little bit, I'm going to move on to the interior. So I got to pull my foiler mats out and get rid of the sand in them and wash them as well. I'm going to use the pressure washer for that as well. The dashboard needs a good thorough cleaning. All the inside of the glass needs cleaning. You know, just mostly in here it just needs to be freshened up. My cup holders have gotten dirty from spilling umpteen drinks in it. All right, so I took off this set of cup holders I had in the center, and ugh, like I don't even know if it's coming across on camera how nasty it is in there. What that is a couple of years of spilled sodas and whatever else fell back there. When I put this cup holder in, I really thought to myself, I should put some sort of plate under it to keep it from collecting junk under it. And then I didn't. And now I'm suffering. So I'm going to have to clean all that out there, and then I'm going to have to figure out if I'm going to do that or if I'm just going to put it back in again and ignore it for another couple of years. All right, and that's much better. I was using the steam cleaner which is really great for loosening up crud like that. And then, though I was trying it over here, and there is a limit to it. Like this center thing was in a minivan, you know, for its whole life, and has just grime baked into it is the best way I can think to call it. You know, it's been doing the kid run, the school run forever, and that just isn't cleaning up. And unfortunately, I've been keeping an eye out for another one of those when I go to the junkyard, and they're all gross because, of course, all of the minivans get just as dirty inside. The cup holder that was here, I took apart. It's in the dishwasher right now because it's just easier than trying to scrub all those little nicks, you know, little holes and stuff. So the thing is, that cup holder sits up on this ridge here, and then this is all open down here, which is why everything just falls underneath. Plus, of course, the cup holder itself has holes in it and stuff. So making a little plate is a little complicated. I don't know. I have to think about that. Well, enough to, I got 2.5 hours before that thing's done out of the dishwasher, so that's fine. But I have gotten this whole part of the dashboard way nice and cleaner. Got in and around stuff and whatnot. So this looks all, it may not look that different on camera, but in person this looks really nice. I also use the steam cleaner to try and clean the wheel. These glitter steering wheels like ooze this brown over time, and the area where I'm constantly touching it up here stays clean because I, you know, wear it off with my hand, but the bottom here that I rarely touch gets covered in it, and it's just like not as shiny down here even after cleaning, and I'm not quite sure what's going on, but that's just apparently a thing with glitter wheels. So my metal flake wheel is as good as it's going to be. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother to film it because it's just gonna be more of the same, but I'm gonna clean the other half of the dashboard, and I'm gonna clean the glass up here, and that'll be done for the moment. Let's work on some rust. Yeah, let's work on this first. So I spent good money to buy myself a stainless steel exhaust tip because, you know, I didn't want it to rust, and of course, because nothing is any good quality today, it's gonna rust. So I don't think this is going to do what I need it to do. I'm going to start with this. This is an iron removing spray clay. This is designed actually to get iron out of paint, like contamination from fault, you know, just crap in the air and whatnot. I'm just curious what it does. No, that doesn't do anything useful here. Have a rag. Cleaner rust now. Got rid of a little bit of the black crud, but didn't solve the inherent problem. So, full standby, never dull, wadding polish. This is bits of cotton infused with a polish, and it's really good for polishing metal, including getting simple rust like this off. Not 100% effective all the time, and it looks like it's not going to 100% do the job, but it's already looking a little bit better. Next thing I'm going to try, I don't think this will help the way I need it to, but it's the next thing I'm going to try. This is just metal polish. Like, this is what I use to polish the mag wheels. I'm just curious if it's gonna do what I need. Actually, that did a pretty good job. Fortunately, like I said, this is just now rusty in general, but the polish helped a lot. Alright, so for this front bumper and grille, there's a bigger problem than just minor stuff going on. The bumper, as you can see, is popping through here. The chrome is failing, but the grille is majorly failing. Let's see, there's a lot of it everywhere. There was some last year. This is exponentially worse than last year. Now, possibly going forward, one thing with these grills, is that originally this outer edge and these bars and the outer edge of this were chrome, and then all this inner stuff was all black. The black paint on this one is long since worn away, and then I think the inside of this was a like argent silver. So something I can do is clean all this. I could come in, sand all this rust down, treat it all with rust reformer, and then paint that whole area and hide all that rust. Same thing in here. I could paint this. Here it gets a little more complicated, but you know, I could hide most of this by painting that. And I may end up doing that, but for right now, I want to experiment with something else, because what I want to experiment with is not going to affect its ability to do that down the line, which is I'm going to use phosphoric acid. It's the same stuff I use when I'm doing the metal work to convert rust. I'm going to spray it very gently on here, like not soak it, scrub it into all this rust really well, and then let it kind of do its job, convert and treat the rust. I'm hoping it'll also eat away at the rust drips so that I can scrub those off. And then I'm going to rinse all that off, kind of see where I am there. And then I've been thinking about going in and very carefully detail either rust reformer paint or Master Series rust encapsulator, and then using a chrome paint on top of them to very carefully just touch all those spots up. That I'm not doing today, but I'm at least going to do the first thing, which is going to see if I can get all this rust to just convert back to something both a little less visible and a little less immediately dire. All right, so this is on here to give it a chance to work, but you can already see all the rust drooling is gone, so I'm left with the rust pits themselves, which is already a massive improvement. I can already see that this is cleaned up. I actually probably should have just scrubbed everything, not just the rusty parts, because it's really done a nice job of bringing things up. Same with the bumper. This is already looking way better. I'm going to let all this sit on here. It's going to, unfortunately, since it's in the sun, probably dry before it fully does everything, but it's going to make a difference. That's going to look way better. And there's a couple little spots on the back bumper, and I'm going to do that exhaust tip as well, just to see if that comes up. Sometimes I'm just plain dumb. You ever have one of those moments where you're like, you do something and a half a second later you're like, why the hell did I do that? Yeah. I opened this door, noticed this bit of carpet was dirty, and grabbed the pressure washer and sprayed it down, and immediately regretted it, as everything around it immediately got sopping wet. And this part of the carpet I didn't even get any cleaner because I didn't spray over there, but this is all now wet in here. It flowed behind the rubber, this rubber thing here, and that filled the whole wheel well with water underneath it, so that had to come out. The carpet, this carpet of course wicked it up immediately. So I've gone in with the shop vac, vac as much water as I can out of there, and I've got a little fan I'm gonna put in here to get air circulation moving through here and open up all the doors. But damn, I feel dumb. I think my vague theory was, oh, just blast the mud out of that carpet and it'll flow down into the wheel well, and technically that happened, but not in a good way. So yeah, I'll not be doing that on this side, but I do need to take this out or scrub it or something. I need to vacuum all the rug. Yeah, just not my best moment. Alrighty, so this wheel is pretty good. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as the front, but it definitely is starting to get some corrosion on it. This cheap center cap, the chrome is failing on, but this is plastic, so it's not rusting. But then my lug nuts are rusting. Also, I've got some scuffing of the black lettering. So Wesley's bleach white is good for cleaning this, but it dulls the aluminum, so I always have to remember to clean the lettering first and the aluminum second. It would be better if I had a SOS pad. They're really great for cleaning these letters, but I don't think I have any in the house at the moment. I'm going to do the best I can. Just put this. All right, let's see how much of this wheel we can get clean with just aluminum cleaner. Most of this is brake dust, and then unfortunately it's brake dust combined with the corrosion it causes into the wheel. So I can make this better, but I'm definitely not getting rid of all of it. Definitely an improvement, but still a long way to go. That's going to need significant polishing and possibly even some sanding out. Alright, I have decided that for today I'm doing quick and dirty wheel polishing, not full fix. But let's see if we can make this look at least somewhat better. That's definitely an improvement, but it's going to need some serious work. You can see this black pitting. I don't know if that's just the aluminum pitting and corroding, or if that's brake dust caught in the pitting or what. But I only get those on front wheels. But that's all going to need sanding. But for right now, that looks acres better. Here. This is the one that's got nothing, but this just was cleaned when I washed the van. You can see both the amount of black and stuff, but also just how gray the whole thing is. So I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to do the same thing real quick. The back ones, they need way less. These have still got some shine to them. They've just got a little bit of corrosion. So they should be they'll come back up pretty good. How's that look? Pretty darn good, huh? I did the wheels on this side. This one came out pretty much as good as on the other side. A little of the black needs touching up, but other than that, it's good. This one's rougher than the one on the other side. I don't know quite why, but it looks more presentable at the very least. It's an improvement. It's definitely going to need attention. In here, this side's been cleaned. The rugs have been vacuumed as much as possible. Discovered a problem. These new rugs are so plush, my vacuums don't know what to do with them. The shop vac just sucks itself down to the bottom and doesn't really pull anything up as a result. And the house vac, this is such a thick nap, they actually the beaters will stop because they feel like they're getting, I think it's tripping your tangled sensor in it. So I think what I need is like a brush end for the shop vac, so I can come in and do this and it will pull this stuff up. You can see all the little tiny stuff, but it won't suck it down into the base because those fibers will keep it up. So I think, but for now I was able to do something, so it's definitely much nicer than it was back here. I've done stuff like clean this step, clean surfaces, that kind of thing. So it's just generally much neater and cleaner in here. There's just not that sort of vague residue of mess from the winter. At this point, I've got to wait for this corner to dry out, and then the cleaning is done. I was talking about I was going to deal with these center caps, but I think that's going to be another day because this ran much longer than expected. I've been out here for hours working on this. So we're going to call this good enough. I'll take some beauty shots, which you'll see right after this, once I've got it back together completely. And then I will see you another time. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.